Hello and welcome to the Terraces. We've got, Jack, who's been on a couple of these, and we've got a strange face. I don't know. Yeah. Does anyone know him? Has anyone seen him? Don't think you've actually been on one this season, though, Mark, have you?
I think I was on one earlier in the season, but since then I've been rubbing shoulders with all the international mags.
Yeah. Now, do you have an apology for a certainly Mr. Anthony Gordon?
I'm pretty sure. In fact, I know we covered this on my last appearance on the show. It was.
Yeah, but
he's
still improved.
Oh well, actually, I mean, yes, he probably. Well, yeah, it's fair to say that he has, even since my last appearance. He's been phenomenal this season. I think it'd be very hard to make an argument to say anyone else has been a better player for Newcastle this season. I think only maybe Fabian Schär comes close, probably between the two of them for best player of the season so far.
Yeah.
I'd throw Trippier in there, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, Trippier as well. Yeah.
Well, maybe not the last two games.
No, we'll ignore that. He was tired.
Sean Longstaff, I'd probably throw in an honourable mention as well, because since he's come back in, we do look a lot more solid in the midfield.
Totally.
And then obviously, it's just one of those annoying things. Like you say, we'll get Joe Willock back. Damn it, Denali's banned.
Yeah.
But we've got Big Joe back. We've got
Joe back.
Yeah, Big Joe and Little Joe. Yeah, we've got the two Joes back.
Yes. Delighted.
But they can't do the left pivot at the minute because actually no.
Could do. Could play Gordon up front, Joe Linton on the left.
Well, yeah, that's an idea then.
If the injuries keep going, Gordon will have to switch to the right anyway.
I think, I do think in this period of games, Gordon will start up front in at least one of them. To be honest, because Wilson, you can't keep starting Wilson. You just while Isak's out, you can't keep starting.
I'm going to say tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Gordon might start up front tomorrow.
I just think if you're going to have Wilson fit for one of the two games, you'd want it to be against Arsenal.
Yeah. I'd fancy Gordon against the Man U centre backs as well over Saliba and Gabriel, etc.
What you mean, Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans?
Yeah, over Varane, because Evans is now ahead of Varane in the pecking order. So
I've got many opinions on Man United and Eric Ten Hag that I will save for later in the show. But his biggest crackpot theory has to be yes, Rafa Varane, seasoned centre half, won everything on the face of the earth. Man City, you say, no, I've dropped him for tactical reasons. That was his actual goddamn reasoning. Honestly,
well, we'll put it this way: we'll just run through. Yeah, this is the Man U side that started against Manchester City, and you're sort of like going, well, hang on, if this is the side you're putting out against Manchester City, love to see the side that you're going to put out against us.
please show us the B team.
So Andre Onana, which for me at the minute, he's the gift that keeps on giving.
He's shite.
Yeah,
I thought he was good on Sunday. He was good on Sunday. Kept the score down. It would have been.
True.
It would have been about 7 or 8. To be fair, without Onana. So, yeah,
didn't take.
He's had a bad start. He's had a bad start this season. He has had a bad start this season. He was fantastic for Inter Milan. It just seems to be players got Man United at the moment, and it all just comes down for them. So yeah, he was brilliant in Inter Milan. So I don't know.
Well, I thought the best player for Man City was Michael Oliver.
A penalty, yeah.
We're not going to get into that, but I actually thought it was a penalty. Like I'd looked at it maybe twice, and I went, "That's a pen."
Yeah.
So I'm like, it wasn't just the shirt holding; it was the way that he held onto Rodri and brought him down. And I'm like, it's a bit different to all the other little sort of like tugs in the box. That one, I think, was a little bit more blatant in that aspect.
I think they worked out that Rodri was getting on the end of the ball as well. So they're kind of working out as
if Michael Oliver says it's right because Michael Oliver is just a fucking genius.
He is the best referee, yeah.
He is, yeah. But we'll not go there. Plus, it also helped me because I've got Erling Haaland as me captain on fantasy football. So thanks, Michael. So as we mentioned, a back four of Diego Dalot, Harry Maguire, his head fucking massive. Johnny Evans, number 35 or his age, I don't know which one. Yeah.
Could be either. Could be both.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
and then Victor Lindelof at left back.
Famously a left back.
The other option was Reguilon. So, to be honest,
Yeah.
defensively, Lindelof's probably better at left back than Reguilon.
Well, exactly. Then you had Bruno Fernandes on the right wing.
Yep, didn't track back at all.
Because that's where he plays.
Yep.
Christian Eriksen is like a CDM. Again, that's where he plays.
I love how it's like there's this debate raging about has Casemiro lost his legs? And it's like, well, he's out, so we'll have to test somebody else there. Who else would use? The man that's definitely lost his legs, Christian Eriksen.
And who's never been able to defend. Like,
no. Exactly.
And it's just never, that's not a thing where you're like,
and then,
we signed Eriksen, he's really good at getting the ball back.
And then Sofian Amrabat.
Yeah.
And Scott McTominay, which, to be fair, out of all those midfielders, you're looking to go, well, fucking Scott McTominay is the one that we're probably a little bit more concerned about.
Yeah, but he was playing as the 10, though. You know what I mean?
I know. It's like, well, shouldn't Scott McTominay be in that? Yeah, where
like
Christian Eriksen was. Yeah, like, swap them around. Obviously, Marcus Rashford on the wing. The man who's obviously must be so much good that he was able to keep his place in the England squad ahead of Anthony Gordon.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying this isn't a dig at Marcus Rashford, but if you're going to go on form, Anthony Gordon shit on Marcus Rashford this season.
And therein lies the problem, because apparently form is irrelevant.
Yeah.
I know. And then obviously the fact that Calvin Phillips and Jordan Henderson got in again ahead of Sean Longstaff again is fucking criminal for me. And then obviously up front they had Rasmus Højlund.
Yep.
The big striker that...
He hasn't scored in the Premier League yet, but I do like him. I do like him.
No, he does look decent, and he does look as if he's going to come good.
They don't create any chances for him. What's he going to do?
Well, good, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Don't give him chances and we'll be fine then.
Yeah.
On the bench, they had Altair Bayinda as the reserve goalkeeper.
Yep.
But by all reports, David De Gea's coming back.
That'd be absolutely hilarious.
Well, the belief is that he's coming back, but it's also, I think, their understanding is that the keeper, Onana, wants to go and play in the African Cup of Nations.
Yes, yeah, he does. Yeah.
To be fair, though, I'm not being funny, but if you had the option of De Gea or Onana at the minute, you'd probably put De Gea back in there.
Yeah,
you would. It's also, just,
with the African Nations. Yeah,
exactly.
It is embarrassing the way they got rid of him. And then they're like, "Oh, please come back." You know what I mean? For like 8 games or whatever. Like, yeah.
But then you look at the bench, as you said, Sergio Reguilon, the man who didn't really make it at Spurs, so Man U thought we'll take him on loan.
Yep.
Raphael Varane, who you probably rate in terms of that. Yeah, you look at him and go, yeah, he's a decent player.
He's not as good as he was, but he's still like their best.
But he's been Man U'd, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's their best defender by a long way.
Kobe Manu, who will obviously be a young prospect. Hannibal, again, a young prospect, but when I'd seen him last season, he looked quite good. Mason Mount, which, will not go there, Mark, because we all know your thoughts and feelings on Mason Mount.
Beyond sure.
Anthony, the pound shop Anthony Gordon.
Yeah. He is, God, yeah.
Anthony Martial,
yeah.
And then Alejandro Garnacho.
Yeah. I like Garnacho's good, decent. Garnacho'll start tomorrow, I reckon.
I think so as well. So if you're looking at that, you probably if we're going to do that, you're probably thinking Anthony starts.
Yeah.
Martial.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Well, I don't know, because they need a win now. Like after that result, they need a win. I wouldn't be surprised if Højlund starts. Actually,
but could Martial not play on the left instead of?
Yeah, Rashford? He could do. But Garnacho plays on the left usually. But he could do. Yeah, I don't. Martial did start as
on the right.
He did start as a left winger. Yeah,
they've got nobody really to play on the right, even when everyone's fit.
Really.
Well, Anthony.
Instigated.
The fact. Then you've got Mason Mount. I've got a feeling Mason Mount might get a run out.
Yeah.
Reguilon will probably start. But then in the defence, you've got no one else, so it's probably going to have to be Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans, because I just think he maybe might not want to start.
Yeah.
You say that as if there's...
Unless it was tactical reasons, and then Varane,
You say that though, Mark, as if there's something wrong with Man United putting out Leicester's defence from 2018. Is just like, what's wrong with that? Like, Jesus, man, honestly. He's only spent 450 million quid, since he's been in the job. Give him a break.
Yeah. It's tough. It's the roof falling down. You've seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm just so glad this season that the media has finally cottoned on to what I think a lot of us knew halfway through last season of Erik ten Hag is a fraud. Like, there's a reason I call him Sean Dutch.
Except for Gary Neville. Because even his failures were down to because according to Gary Neville, the fact that the owners gave Ten Hag what he wanted this summer was down to them. They shouldn't have been as generous to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, look, I totally understand that, but the simple fact is you're whinging about the fact that you've got an owner that owners that backed their manager and got him what he wanted.
Yeah, as usual, the problem
we
with Man
didn't.
United,
can we just point out with Mike Ashley? Yeah, he wouldn't even pay out for a fucking loan fee for Hamza Chowdhury when Steve Bruce wanted it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's where we're coming from, and now he's potentially going to get Redden.
The problem with Man United, as we all know, has always been that they've never put in place a proper director of football. But you can never accuse their owners of not backing their managers. They always have. Like that's been the fundamental problem. They get a manager in, give him a load of cash to spend on what he wants. He lasts 24 months. He gets sacked for being shite, and then you're left with the remnants of like. I mean, you look at their team. How many of them have been hanging around like a bad smell from previous regimes? It's absolutely embarrassing. It's like the team has no cohesion.
Lindelof was signed under Mourinho, so
yeah.
The other thing, and this is where I'd also put it, the fact that you've got someone like Jadon Sancho who's just been left to rot. I'm going, that's bad management. For Ten Hag, grow a pair, and fucking just say, look, do you know what? Bygones be bygones. Let's try and work together and let's try and do something about it. But he's not. He's basically thrown his fucking toys out the pram and went, nah, fuck you. You're going to.
He's on a one-man wrecking tour to try and prove that beggars can be choosers, and it's like we all know how that ends. Like you can't do it. Like there's no one else who can really play on the right wing for them. They've got kind of nobody.
Well, let's turn to a club that do have owners that back them, but have a manager that actually knows what to do with players and can improve them.
Indeed.
And no, that's not Arsenal.
No, it's not Arsenal.
To be fair, though, he does do that, though. I will give him that, even though I don't really like him.
I think that run might come to an end with Kai Havertz, but yeah, up until now. And
probably Spurs as well, because actually, it's annoying. I hate Spurs, but I absolutely love their manager.
It's really unsettling. Yeah. I don't want to like Spurs, and Ange Postecoglou is really, really, really like pushing that to the limit.
I know, it's like, Ange, can you just quit and go somewhere else? And would love you even more. Yeah.
And then,
but yeah. So
Newcastle.
Let's have a look at Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where no matter who we seem to put out, we just do that. Yes, and I am going to say that, yes, it was frustrating against Wolves, but people seem to be writing Wolves off. Wolves are a fucking decent side. They've got some talented players in there, and the fact that even with the injuries that we've got and the fatigue that we've got, we managed with a draw and probably finished the better.
Yeah,
of that, you're still letting go. Do you know what? A point away from home is decent in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing because of the position that we got ourselves in, and we obviously didn't put in a great performance. But in the cold light of day,
well, to be fair though, was it a penalty?
No, it probably wasn't. And the first goal came massively against the run of play as well.
Do you know where I think the issue is? And because everyone said, no, it wasn't a penalty. How did they look at it? I think VAR couldn't really determine that there was no contact.
They couldn't tell,
And I think
that's why they watched it so many times.
Yeah, and I think because Jared Gill,
they looked at it from 5 different angles as well. Do you know what I mean?
And because he was like, look, I can't determine that there's no contact, therefore, even if there's the minimal contact, it's still probably not a genuine error by the referee. So
exactly,
because at first glances, to be fair though, but at first glances, I was going, it's a pen.
Yeah, exactly. Cher made it look like he'd been properly cleaned
But
out in the box.
to be fair, if they're going to win, our first goal was payback against Dubravka.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was our payback against the Longstaff fellow that wasn't given us a penalty last year. So
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
even now, Wolves. Yeah, things have evened up a little bit. Yeah, it's fine.
they've evened it out. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's evened out now. It's fine.
It's just the way it goes, isn't it? With the
I will say
referee.
one thing. I love Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto was a class player.
When he went off, our prospects improved massively.
Yeah, as soon as I went him down with the hamstring, I was like, get in.
You know, it changed the atmosphere in the stadium as well. As soon as he went off, the atmosphere died in the stadium. Wolves didn't have that momentum anymore. I still think
if we maybe substituted our fullbacks, i.e.,
maybe
brought Target on and brought Livramento on, I think we may have went on and just nicked it.
Yeah,
but I think
I really can't work out why Livramento didn't come on, just because I love Kieran Trippier. He's probably been my favourite signing since the new regime, but he had a stinker.
That was probably his worst game, to be honest.
Yeah. He just looked absolutely knackered. He was misplacing passes left and right.
He was at fault for the first goal.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, well, Livramento's on the bench. If he can't get on under those circumstances, when is he kind of going to get on?
I'm actually going to be honest, and I think there's probably thought in Eddie Howe's mind, which is, would bringing on Livramento improve the game? In essence, it's one of those things. We can't say for certain. He might have thought, well, Trippier's, even though Trippier's playing shite, his experience may still be what we probably need to do that. But then he also might have had a thought of, well, I'm planning on playing Livramento for the full game against Man U.
Yeah.
So do you know, there's like those things where he's trying to manage the squad and going, well, I want to try and keep that. To be fair, like you said, 2-2 is not a bad result. Wolves, to be honest, it was actually
Gary O'Neill's.
It was quite an entertaining game, to be fair.
It was an entertaining game, yeah.
Where do you lads think Wolves will finish the season out of interest? Because I just think Gary O'Neill, I just think Gary O'Neill's done a top job. He's.
Well, I'm going to say he was.
I was impressed with him.
I thought it was shocking for him to get sacked against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
I think it's just absolutely the most mindless decision of the summer.
It's
basically there's been some dodgy signings, but like getting rid of him is probably the most mindless decision of any Premier League side in the summer.
It was basically like Bournemouth said, "You're not a big enough name to attract the players that we're trying to attract, so we're going to get rid of you and bring in a man from Rio Vallecano." Which, to be fair, at the start of it, you looked at it and went, well, "Actually, Rio Vallecano actually were a decent side.
Yeah,
he might do well." I just think it. I'm going to say, I mean, you sort of wins and you go, "Well, yeah, they did beat Burnley, but that's Burnley."
Yeah.
But
no, exactly. I'm impressed with O'Neill. I think Hwang,
especially when
he always seems to play well against us. He
scored twice in that last Ashley game, didn't he?
The worst game of all time. Yeah.
But you then look at the Wolves aspect of it. When Gary O'Neill came in, it was sort of like all up in the air, and that Lopetegui just went because he wasn't really getting backed with the players that he wanted in that.
Yeah.
No, Gary O'Neill sort of like came in. One, I will say, I also loved Gary O'Neill's little bit on Monday Night Football where he was like
brilliant.
His thoughts on that, and I'm like, why can't we get more managers doing that? But I also love Gary O'Neill when he says, "Don't for a minute think that I'm giving away secrets that those managers don't know, because they're not stupid. They know that. They'll have watched that and they already know what we're doing. That it was just my thing." And I'm like, but that's great. That's what you want to see those sort of things, because you're going, because you're like, oh, that's that is actually quite. But if you also look at Wolves, they were unlucky. I think was it Luton,
they got a horrendous penalty decision against them, and against Man United as well. Yeah,
again,
and against Newcastle, horrendous penalty decision.
So you're looking at that. I actually think Wolves will actually finish the 12th at the minute. If we're looking at that. So funny enough, the level on points with Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, that never stops being funny. I see. I probably think a little bit differently to you lads. I think Wolves are actually quite a poor team with a really good manager.
Is that what you think?
I don't actually see as much talent in that side as a lot of people do. I'm not saying they're like relegation fodder, but
Max Kilman.
I think he's got more out of them I think
he's got a lot more out of them than he should have.
But this is the fact.
I think he'll continue because he's got a track record of it.
Yeah, but Max Kilman's a decent defender. Craig Dawson's a decent defender. Nelson Semedo as a right back's decent. Jose Sohi's just don't be not. Ryan Altanuri, I actually think
I knew he was very good.
Was decent. Pedro Neto again is
he's a top player. Yeah.
We need a right.
It looked like a bad hamstring.
I know, but when you look at that and thinking, if we need a right winger,
Newcastle have been linked with them before.
But you imagine Pedro Neto on one side, Gordon on the other side, and like Isak in the middle of that. Yeah,
canny bit of pace in it.
No,
exactly. And to be fair, Matthias Cunha isn't bad up front for them.
Not a very good finisher, but he's a good player.
And then Wong Hee-chan, who I've actually been impressed with him this season. I think he's decent. So you look at that, and I actually think Wolves have actually got a fairly decent squad, to be fair. Probably, and I think they've probably got a manager that'll do what they want to do. Yeah, I actually think they're playing some really decent football, to be fair.
Yeah, they were good.
So good on them. Yeah, there's teams I've seen play worse football. Really going to help.
Oh God, yeah, easily. Yeah, I just think O'Neill's getting a lot more out of them than they're greater than the sum of their parts because of him. And fair play to him. I think I really hope he proves Bournemouth wrong, because I just think that decision was absolutely mental.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, obviously, if we're looking at our side, Nick Pope, I would probably say starting goal, just because I think Eddie Howe will probably go, well, I don't really want to change my keeper for the cup game. I'm actually going to say I think we will see both fullbacks changed.
Target a left back.
Yeah.
And I think Livramento will start at right back.
I agree. Yep. I think it's probably a bit too soon for Kraft to come in. Otherwise, he'd have been in with a shout as well.
I also think
on the bench. He probably.
I also think Lascelles will start in midfield. Lascelles will start in centre back.
Tell you what, he's a bit passive. He's a bit better at passing this season, but if he starts in midfield,
my mindset, I was looking at the midfield next, and that's where it was going.
You were thinking, well, it worked for Joe Linton, so
his passing's better. His passing's better this season, but no, he's not starting midfield.
I mean, look, I was jumping ahead as I sometimes doing that in my mind, and I'm going right. So I picked the sellers. What's next? I actually.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think Dummett might come in. I think we might. Black Mamba thought Steve Bruce was back from second. Well, to be fair, that was the text that I just got through, which is what too was there.
No more. It would be no more ludicrous than his Jeff Hendrick up front experiment. So,
Well, yeah, exactly.
Black Mamba says we're reliant on Trippier on the right hand side for his assists and passes. I'm actually excited that Livramento was doing fairly decent with that aspect of it.
But Livramento, when he was at Southampton as well, that was his game. Do you know what I mean?
So I think that'll happen.
Trippier would be a big injury loss for any side, but I feel
he would
better now that we've got Livramento in.
Yes. In terms of assist, as long as we can get Murphy back from his dislocated shoulder, he will get assists. Okay, and because going back to the Palace game, he was outstanding.
Yeah, I think the thing I've really liked about Murphy this season is he's been a lot more direct. He has been so much more, and he's kind of, in a way, he's the only player we've got that really does that just sort of tries to get half a yard on a man and whip a ball in. And my God, did it work against?
Yeah, because Mickey prefers to try and carry the ball and take it into the box and those sort of things, whereas Murphy's different.
Mickey's looking for the 1-2s in fields and stuff. And
also, Murphy 100% meant that goal which he scored. But I will say that. But also, his passing for Gordon for this
fantastic.
Was it our second goal?
It was our second goal.
Yeah,
was just again. Like I said, I was so impressed with him. I was like, fucking hell. I actually, and this was a joke, I turned around and I said to the guy behind us, I went, Jacob Murphy masterclass incoming. And I said that at the start of the game. And then I went, told you.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones where I was like, get in, my son. But yeah, no, I do agree with that one. I do think we are relying on Trippier, but I think if we get Murphy back, he would help with that one.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Livramento play on the right wing a few times while we're waiting for
Willock on
Murphy.
Saturday also played on the right as
Willock
well.
played on
Saturday.
the right. He switched and he did both. So yeah.
Yeah. Gordon could as well.
Yeah,
if you put Gordon out there, you can do the old JoJo switcheroo.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. So there's options in that aspect of it. I think we'll probably see Sean Longstaff just because Sean Longstaff, and he'll just fucking run and run in there.
Hall and Willock for me in midfield.
That's what I'd put as well in my thought, because I just think, one, I think Bruno needs a rest, and two, he's on a yellow, and I'd rather him not pick up that yellow against Manchester United.
I agree, but I just think Bruno will play.
You think Bruno will play?
Yeah, he just doesn't the amount of times when we come into a game where it's like, surely he's not going to play Bruno today,
and he plays.
And he's like, no, still plays. But I agree. I wouldn't play him either. But
he might start them and then hope to
Willock, Longstaff, and Bruno. Then is that what your midfield up? Willock.
I do.
I think so.
I think the intimation that because the intimation that we got from Eddie Howe today was that Willock is probably good enough to start.
Yeah.
And he even says with like Joe Linton and that, because you come back and injury, you probably do need to manage the workload. So that's where I think there. Christ, this is then the awkward one.
I think Joe Linton on the left, Gordon up front. I think Miggy will be on the right, just because Miggy came off quite early, so I think Miggy will start on the right. That would probably be what I would go for. Again, like I'd put Hall in midfield because I think we need to see him a bit more. So I'd like to see him in midfield. He did play midfield for Chelsea last.
Do you know? I am actually, but the only thing that's really, and it's probably unfair on him to be fair, because I was looking at him, and it was probably because he was more played to the left side of the midfield against Man City. But I thought he was shocking in that game, and I would and just that aspect of it, and you're just like, I don't know, because we felt also the game also turned around when Bruno came on.
Exactly, yeah. So you could do that. You could do that. You could play for 45 minutes, struggling, get Bruno on at half time, but
so it could be those sort of things like, look, start with this, but then again, it could be another case of start with Bruno, see if we can get ourselves in front,
get a few goals,
and then bring Lewis Hall on. So because the option is, if you then do you want to be bringing Bruno on to chase the game?
Yeah.
The fact is, there's got to be a level of squad rotation, basically, because we need it. But it just goes to show you when you look at it, when you think realistically, we could have been, if nothing had happened, i.e., injuries and suspensions, you would have been looking at going, right, well, we'd put Jacob Murphy on the right side, we'd put
Anderson,
we'd put Harvey Barnes on the left, we'd put Isak down the centre, or Callum Wilson would have started this game. You then would have looked and went, we'd have Sean Longstaff, we'd have Tonali, and we'd have Anderson.
Miley would be in with a shout for this game as well, probably, if it were
Miley, and then you look at
fitness issues.
And then the fact is, Botman probably would have been resting. You probably would have been seeing the cells in and that. So it's just one of those frustrating aspects of it when you look at the injuries that we've got. When you think of that, but the way I look at it is, it's a game I want to win, just because I think we're going to know them from last season in the cup final. And then, if that's the case,
if you get through,
only
Man
Arsenal and
City are
Liverpool.
out. Yeah, Man City are out. Tottenham are out. Aston Villa are out.
Liverpool and Arsenal.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it's basically
West Ham.
So go on, West Ham. Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham win that. I wouldn't, because I think Arsenal will rotate their squad heavily.
So do I.
Moisey thing to do as well. They get beat off thingy at the weekend. Who was it?
Everton.
Everton. To get beat off Everton and then go and beat Arsenal. It's like fucking hell, man.
But you look at that and you're going, because if we're just looking at the games today, the cup game are
Mansfield,
Exeter v Middlesbrough, and currently Exeter up 1-0 up.
All right, so Middlesbrough going out at the moment,
and Mansfield and Port Vale. So you're looking at that going, well,
Yeah.
We could draw Exeter, we could draw Mansfield, we could draw Port Vale. Yeah.
No,
So
no,
in that-
we can't because there's a rule where we have to draw the hardest bastard sides.
Yeah, we'll get
in
yeah
every
we'll,
cup competition this season.
we'll get through and we'll get Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a knocking bet.
It's just one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, we're due an easier run at one point in that aspect. And you imagine if we did like quarterfinals against Mansfield, Port Vale, or Exeter, because that's what the next round is after round 4. It's the quarters.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know.
So you then go and we're right, beat one of those, we're into the semis. So
I know it's mad, isn't it? It's mad, isn't it?
And that's
that's why I love this cup. It gets a lot of disrespect, but I absolutely love the League Cup because it's like it cuts out all the fluff and all the crap and all of that and just gets down to business.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, look, we enter round 3 because we're European team now.
Elite.
I know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like
still sounds bizarre saying, but yeah.
It does. Look, and I'm still going to say this. Look, I still think, yeah, we could probably go to Dortmund and get something over there. I think.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. We've just got to turn up and
we were just poor in the first half against Dortmund.
We were, and we just in the fact we just couldn't finish. How many times did we hit the bar?
Wilson
hit the post
and then unlucky. Yeah,
I was about to say poor in the first half, unlucky in the second. Basically sums it up.
That's legit.
Even
in the first half, we had chances. Gordon had a couple of efforts saved, and we could have had a penalty.
Dortmund fans shit on Paris fans in terms of if we're going to judge the two fans that have been at St James's. Dortmund fans fucking shit on them.
I've never known anything like it. I've honestly never known anything like it. But then as soon as the half-time whistle went, they were silent. And then
they were like, right, that's for 15-minute break, right?
Yeah, and then the second half started again. And it all started.
So like, right, get your break, get your drinks, yeah, have a rest, yeah, do the gargling, whatever you need to do. Right, we're ready.
They were making their subs. They were getting their subs changed around. They were sitting down in the
ruthless German efficiency.
Come in.
To be fair, but you just said that. That's what that game was. They went 1-0 up, and then that was the ruthless German efficiency. They just went, right, we're just seeing the game out.
Yeah, it is absolutely bizarre seeing Dortmund, who are like synonymous with kamikaze football for the past 10 years, just choosing to go, nah, we're not doing that anymore. I mean, they've been panned this season by the German media, like for their performances in the Bundesliga. But the level on points with Bayern Munich, the last I checked. So it's like it's absolutely bizarre.
But just because one of their strikers isn't scoring from their own half.
Yeah, no, that's not good enough.
They have changed. Obviously, they've lost Bellingham, so they've kind of lost that, like, I guess that X factor, and they're kind of trying to be a bit more. I thought their centre backs were brilliant, weren't they? Schlotterbeck and Schlotterbeck.
Why couldn't we have went in for Bellingham instead of Tonali? I mean, come on, you've seen how Bellingham started at Real Madrid. You imagine having that in our midfield, it would have been like,
I understand, but he had his heart set on Real Madrid.
No, he did. Yeah, we're not anywhere near there yet. But it's just like you imagine like having a Jude Bellingham in the middle of your midfield. It's just like
he's
probably the best midfielder in world football at the minute.
At this moment in time, yes.
It's mad to think that England have him and Rice, and they're wasted on an idiot.
Well, we all know he needs to fill that left centre midfield spot. It's Willock. There you go. Stick him in. Willock, Bellingham, and Rice. Whoa.
Sean Longstaff on the bench.
Yeah.
Well, can we not like move the move and put Sean Longstaff? So it's Sean Longstaff, Declan Rice, and Jude Bellingham.
There you go.
Well,
and then Anthony Gordon is your left striker
on the left. Aye. Well,
Jacob Murphy's your right.
Newcastle have got an England 11, so we could just.
That's the thing.
We can just have the 11 now.
Well, hang on. What was it? If my memory serves me correct, it's Nick Pope.
Yeah, Trippier.
Kieran Trippier.
Lascelles, Burn, Target.
Lascelles, Burn, Livramento.
On the left, all right.
Livramento as well. Yeah,
Livramento. Yeah. So
then, if you look at your midfield, you've got Sean Longstaff,
Anderson, Hall. Oh, Willock,
Miley.
Aye, yeah, so.
And then obviously your front two, you've
Gordon, Murphy, Wilson.
Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot.
And I'm looking at that and I'm going, well, to be fair, that side's probably.
That's not bad.
If you put that side out against someone like Burnley, you could probably still get him.
Wait, listen. It would beat half the teams you have to play in these daft qualifiers, wouldn't it? It's like, I reckon we'll get past San Marino, lads.
Malta away with Willock in midfield, yeah, definitely.
Well,
10 them
exactly.
apart.
But, yeah.
Anyway, I shouldn't complain. We could do with another international break to get more of our
We
lads
could.
back to
We
fitness.
Well, yeah,
Although
funny
it
enough
wasn't
to say
good.
that, there is one
Wasn't good
due in
news on
November.
Botman, was it?
No.
Wasn't good news.
I'm
on
not too
Botman.
sure on that because all he basically said was he's had a setback. We're not sure. So basically, they can't give a date on it yet.
Yes. Yeah.
But they may look at that and it might end up
Hopefully
being
it's
better
good.
than
Hopefully
expected.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't trust a word out of Eddie Howe's mouth when it comes to injuries.
Oh, I love the man, but he's a lying sack of shit when it comes to injuries. Like he's an absolute twat, and I love it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about England. England is now 2-1 up against Belgium.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, well, that sounded around quick.
How are the lasses?
Indeed. Oh yeah.
Well, the plus point if we do draw Exeter though, the game will be played at St James's Park.
St James, I know both legs. Yeah. Both legs.
We're looking at quarterfinals, still only one leg.
Oh yeah, sorry, you are right. Yeah,
quarterfinals 1 leg, semi-finals 2 legs.
Yeah, I don't know what I was getting. I was getting ahead of myself. I was thinking of the semi-finals already. I was like, yeah, we're there already.
We'll have them in the semis. We'll have Port Vale in the
finals.
There you go. The final might be even better. We've already decided it's definitely Liverpool the next round.
But
yeah,
imagine if that's the run to the Carabao Cup glory.
Well, obviously we know the
Man
teams...
City, Man U, Liverpool, and then play some League Two teams in the semi-final. Final.
That are playing tonight. Tomorrow it's West Ham, Arsenal.
Yep.
Bournemouth, Liverpool. Come on,
Chelsea,
Bournemouth, get your second win in a week. Chelsea, Blackburn. I wouldn't put it past Blackburn.
Blackburn are the highest scorers in the League Cup this season.
I was going to say
Everton,
Blackburn
Burnley.
can find the net, and Chelsea very much can't. So.
Yeah, Blackburn have got
Everton, Burnley.
Everton, Burnley. I mean, Everton have been better, but yeah,
much of a muchness, isn't it? Really,
but they're both that game. They're both going to make 11 changes. To be fair, probably.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know we hate Everton, but with them obviously the community reasons because Bill Kent, he did get a lot of stick from their fans there, but he was one of those
he was Evertonian, exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the great for me, and like I said, it was the fact that, and I thought it was wonderful the tribute that the Liverpool fans played.
It's great, yeah.
Because the fact is he actually was one of those ones where he says, "Look, I know I'm from the other side, but we're all together. We are all one as Liverpool for like the justice for the 97 as it is now, and that's like where they all come together and that, and you sort of like have a lot of time from in that. Ipswich, Fulham.
Ipswich are playing some great stuff.
Yeah, Kieran McKenna, obviously the ex-coach and Ollie.
Yeah.
He's got Ipswich playing some really decent stuff, and they're sponsored by Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
Ugh.
I know that's kind of that's a bad point. The football's good though. The football's very good. If we actually got through, I'd actually not want to play them away. That would actually be. I'd actually be a bit worried about that one.
I know, but Ed Sheeran, every time he watches Ipswich, he just keeps on thinking of a shape like you. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
We'll see the games.
Exactly. So, and it's the thing when you look at it.
Then Man U, Newcastle, right? That's the game. Yeah. All right, cool.
Well, actually, no. I'll tell you what. Yeah, we'll take Exeter in the next round. Everton, Burnley, Ipswich, Fulham in the semis. One of those. Yeah, it's fine. And then we'll probably play
Everton in the final.
Not Chelsea.
No, not Chelsea. I tried to.
West Ham. There we go. We're going West Ham. A proper United final. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got to be honest. Looking ahead tomorrow, and if Newcastle get an early goal, I reckon it'll turn pretty quickly. I think Old Trafford will turn pretty quickly. On Sunday, it was so easy for Man City. It was 5 minutes. Man United had a decent start, and then that was it. They totally just capitulated. Yeah, 3-0. You're like, oh, if you haven't watched the game, you're probably like, oh, 3-0, easily beaten. Yeah. That doesn't even remotely sum up how dominated they were from start to finish.
It's weird, isn't it? Like how pressure mounts on managers sometimes, because it's like, to me, it's like lose 3-0 to Man City. It's like, well, that happens kind of. No disgrace in that to a degree, but obviously the performance was terrible. But it's like For me, the bigger problem that Ten Hag's had, and nobody really, well, the Man United supporter base, a lot of them hadn't turned on him yet, but they should have, in my opinion, was like barely limping past Sheffield United and some of the results earlier on this season. And they haven't played a single game well this season so far.
No.
Even like Champions League, they limp past FC Copenhagen. You're like, Jesus, wet man. Like at some point, you'd like to think if you're a Man U fan, it's gonna click. There's enough talent in the team. We've got to be able to put in one decent performance. It's like we're going into November tomorrow, and they haven't played one single game well.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. I think
second best in every match.
They were 2-0 down. Nottingham Forest came back 1-3-2, but they were 2-0 down. They were 2-0 down, so you can't be like, they played well against
Brentford.
That was
in Fergie Town.
Yeah, against Brentford, they scored 2 goals in stoppage time.
Yeah.
So, like, you're looking at that, you're like, well, it's weird because sometimes them results like kick you on, like, and galvanise you. Like, I suppose that Liverpool's win at St James's Park is totally. I think if they lose that, they're not where they are, to be honest. But they did win, so I think that them sort of results sometimes galvanise you. But for whatever reason, it just hasn't. Like, they go there, they get that win against Brentford, and then they just turn up and do nothing in their next game. So, yeah, as you say, the Copenhagen game, Copenhagen were the better team for the whole match. Totally
bizarre.
Absolutely them
bizarre.
Off the park.
Then you look at Man City, though. We beat them, and then they went on a run of losing a couple of games.
Yeah, they did, yeah. They lost a couple of games there. Man City, it's I do think tomorrow, as I say, like we've named it what we think our starting 11 will be. I do hope it's something very similar to that. I hope it's not mad changes like players making their debuts and things like that, because I just feel like it'd be a bit disappointing, because ultimately, I don't know about you lads, but trophies the thing, innit? Like, I've seen people going, it's all about finishing the top 4. Like,
well, that's the thing, because
I'd take a trophy and 15th. I don't know, like the trophies.
Well, the most important thing. You are right, Jack, because there was that discussion on the Saturday. Within the group and that, where there wasn't, and they were like, "Oh, we need to finish off." I'm like, "No, God, no." It's like these are the new fans that are coming in. It's like, no. When the
thing is, I get the argument, but I agree with you, lads.
But the only argument is financially for fourth. But
I get the argument, because it's like, wait, if you make yourself back into the Champions League, you build more money, you go again, you get a better coefficient in Europe, so you get a better draw in the groups. I understand the argument
this season.
Where's the heart and the soul to it? Like,
that's the thing.
Give me the Carabao Cup over a Champions League place next season. And like you say, Mark, 5th place.
Yeah, exactly. And we're finished. Yeah. We're 6th at the minute. The Carabao Cup's over in February, realistically. So you've then got March. So it's like
that's the number one argument for me for why you should go for the Carabao Cup. It's like it doesn't clog up your fixture list much. It's there's fewer rounds, and it's over by February. So when you're into the business end of the season and you've got a trophy already, that has to bode well for the remainder of the season.
Think about how Man City have done it for years. You know what I mean? They win the Carabao Cup. It's all right. Take that off, right?
Just use it as a springboard.
Let's wrap up the Premier League. Let's wrap up the FA Cup. Obviously, they didn't win the Carabao Cup last year, and they're not going to win the Carabao Cup this year. But still, that's been their way forward.
Wembley's a lot cooler in February to go than it would be in May. Would probably be back there in May for the Champions League final. So, it's sort of like, come on. Let's not have 2 games in May, because, I'm thinking of the money here. I'm not made of money. We'll go down in February.
Well, you know what, Mark? You've convinced us. I might as well go buy my Club Wembley ticket now.
Yeah, go and get it now, eh?
I've honestly said this now. This again, I will take if it's a defeat, but I would take the same result if it meant we got to the World Cup final next year to do everything again, because it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like I loved it, like going to Trafalgar Square. I know you went to Welton, and it was just like unreal. The scenes and the atmosphere. I was just like, fucking hell.
Yeah. And you just like to think,
those days. You're going to remember that. I know we're lost, but you're going to remember those days for the rest of your life. Imagine if we won. I always think this. I'm like, imagine.
Well, this is the thing.
I would like be on fire. You know what I mean?
This is the thing. If someone said, "Look, choose either Leicester City when we're qualified for the Champions League, or the Cup final, as which you preferred more," the Cup final wins.
It's not even close.
Hands down. It was just. One, because it was like over a few days. It was like I travelled down on the Friday night, stayed down there, So it was weird. The fact that we were at Wembley at 11:30, we were walking down Wembley Way at 11:30, and every bar was full of Newcastle fans. Like, well, not really a shock or a surprise.
No.
But yeah, this was a half kick-off in that. So it's like, but honestly, it was just like the atmosphere in the pubs and that, it was just building that. Then you walk into the stadium and that, it was just like that. And like I said, in the 90th minute, like when we're 2-0 down and we've just got the flags waving because we're basically saying, yeah, fuck yes, yeah. It's like, we're not Man U fans. Like, there was Man U fans walking out, before the trophy being fucking presented.
Nah, that's insane, isn't it?
And that's where I'm like, this is why I want to beat Man U, because I'm like, you don't fucking deserve to go far with this competition if that's what your fans are doing.
I will never, ever not hold aside a special place for hatred in my heart for Man United. I will always hate them, no matter how shit they get. They had the greatest footballing dynasty in English football history wasted on the shittest fan base ever.
Also, can I just put this way? Can we count tomorrow as a home game, considering that we'll probably have travelled the least?
Yeah,
but no, our 7,000 fans will probably have travelled the least distance to the stadium than the other.
Newcastle to Manchester versus London to Manchester.
Yeah, London to Manchester.
Right.
It's probably Newcastle.
So this is probably our it's our home game. If we're going to
our home tie, really. Might as well call it a neutral ground.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to hearing our version of the Man City chant. I'm sure you all saw the Man City chant that they were singing on Sunday or not.
No.
I'll say it. Oh, you'll have to look at it after. I'll put it in the chat after, actually, because it's really funny. But but it's as you say, 7,000 Geordies, going down. That's why I was listening. Howe saying today, I don't think he's going to pull out a really weak side, because he was saying,
no, I don't think he will. I think he'll respect. I think he'll have some level of rotation, because I think he's going to have to.
You've got to rotate, but it doesn't have to be like.
He wants to go for this cup because he's like, he's thinking this. Well, I got to the final last year. Let's hope I can go one better this year.
Yeah.
He'll want to do,
especially if we've got Ruben Neves coming in on loan. Here's a question for you: Would you be upset if that?
I'm all for it, because at the end of the day, Chelsea have cooked their books by selling all their shite to Saudi Arabia. So what's the difference if we get one lad in on loan?
Exactly, but then my argument would be like Watford used to do with Udinese. Leicester used to do things like with the Belgian clubs. Man City did it with Frank Lampard with New York City.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, as long as we're doing the deals in terms of like a relevant payment, let's say upfront or whatever, I don't see the problem in that. And if it means we can get someone in on loan rather than paying a transfer fee, then fair's fair. I know a lot of fans were going, well, could we not take that Gabby Vega on loan instead of...
Right.
he's a talent.
Still not signing number 6. Everyone's going, we need to sign number 6.
How about we sign both of them?
Signing number 6.
We'll just sign both of them. We'll sign Ruben Neves and Gabby Vega.
I'm personally against it, but I understand your points totally. I'm personally against it. I feel
Do you know what? This is
on that route, but
the only reason I'm probably for it in this one is the fact that we're having to do without a player because he did something at AC Milan.
I know it's got nothing to do with Newcastle.
Exactly. It's just like why should Newcastle be punished for something that he did at AC Milan because the Italian authorities couldn't fucking manage it at that point.
Yeah,
and they've only done it. Oh well, I still think there's something fucking fishy with that, but yeah.
Italian football's so bent anyway that I wouldn't be surprised if the authorities held off until Milan could offload him. Like genuinely, like if that came out to be, if that leaked, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying it happened, but if it did, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, clutching my pearls or anything like that,
But it is exactly at that point, and that's where I'm like, look, I'm probably not as against signing Ruben Neves on loan as I probably would be. We also need a striker, Karim Benzema. Yeah, should we get him? The fact is, there was people saying, "Oh, we can loan
Mane's there.
Ronaldo."
Mane. I don't want Ronaldo.
I'm like Cristiano Ronaldo's. Actually, fuck it. Let's bring Ronaldo in as well.
Can you imagine the collective meltdown?
Harmony.
To be fair, I've said this when people were saying, "Oh, the Ronaldo loan," I went, "It will not happen."
No,
Eddie,
it won't happen.
if Cristiano Ronaldo turns up at St James Park, Eddie Howe will no longer be the manager.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he wouldn't sanction it. Because Sadio Mane, I think, could be a possibility.
Well, Mane's was a proven massive team player.
Can't he also play on the wing as well?
He's mainly a wing. He's mainly a winger. He started his
left or right, was
time. I mean, he's another left winger, but he did end. But by the time he left Liverpool, he was playing as a false nine, as a striker. So
can he feel gold?
Yeah.
Well, I've already picked 3 out of Gabriel Vega. Yeah. Is there a centre back? Koulibaly? Yeah, come on. Laporte, yeah, we'll get him on loan for that.
He's
Laporte
over there.
Laporte pays for Ronaldo's team. Ronaldo and
it's absolutely crazy how many talented players are over there wasting their
time.
But
no one's watching it. No one's watching it. Attendances are in the pan. Did you see the one last week? Gerrard had less than Dartford had at home for their game. Gerrard's team. They had 800 Dartford.
Yeah, it was like 1,000.
Oh, that's got to sting. Actually, I'd say that's got to sting. He's laughing all the way to the bank. He doesn't give 2 hoots.
Maidstone had like 4,000 or something in their game as well. So yeah, it's pretty insane. They had 800 at Efax game. Just Henderson and that.
But it is that. But yeah, I just think they need it more. They need, because they bought all these players in, but they didn't market it. And it's like do deals with like. Because the thing, you could have TV revenue,
well, the TV deal in the UK is DAZN have got it this year, but it's only a 1-year deal, and it's like hidden away on the. If you've, I don't know, not many people even have DAZN really. If you're watching football, because they don't have any football in the UK, it's mainly for like boxing and stuff. So yeah.
No, I've just got me Sky Sports and me TNT Sports.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like DAZN's big in Europe. Like DAZN Spain, if you're in Spain, if you've got DAZN Spain, you watch every single Premier League game. But in the UK, DAZN has got barely any football.
Right. Well, what we'll do is we'll wrap it up there. Actually, no, do you know what? Before we wrap it up, we'll do the predictions. I will on this one, because it does go to that. I will also take penalties in terms of your predictions as well in that sense. So we'll go with Mark first.
Oh God, I don't know. It's so frustrating that we've got all these injuries, because I would be so confident of beating these lot if we didn't have all these injuries. I think it goes to penalties. I really do. I'll say Newcastle to win on penalties, but my heart's not in it, to be honest. I'm not sure if I see it happening.
But if we've got Callum Wilson on the bench, though, Jack, we'll just bring him on.
I suppose we'll just bring. Well, we've got one. We'll score one.
If Bruno's on, take him off. Don't need him for a penalty shootout.
Come on, he'll not miss this one. Jack, you now.
2-1 Newcastle. I reckon we'll get an early goal, and then I think everything will.
Who scores it?
Pressure will come on them. Well, he knows who's going to play. So I'll say Willock. Willock will score.
It could be Matt Ritchie for all we like.
I know, Matt Ritchie. We didn't even talk about Ritchie, but Ritchie could play.
But that's the thing. I actually, when I was looking, I was going, fucking let's start Matt Ritchie on like one of the wings.
We've got a penalty. Ritchie are banging a pen. So yeah.
But I was like, let's start Matt Ritchie. Yeah, he's one of those guys. Yeah, he'll just go fucking like challenging. Fucking there you go, bang.
Yeah. He will do that. He will do that. He would do that. He might play, Ritchie. But yeah, I think 2-1 Newcastle. I do think Man U are really there for the taking, as long as we don't make too many changes. Yeah, I'm confident.
I think you're right.
To be fair, I just want Matt Ritchie on the pitches so he can like go and challenge.
Early goal's the key, because Old Trafford will turn if we get an early goal, because they're already fuming at the moment. So yeah.
I know, love it.
What about you, Mark?
I never do predictions, and I'll never start.
Okay, fair enough. No worries.
It's one of those things that
you've got to agree, though. Like this is a bloody good chance to beat them, even despite the injuries. I mean, it's just I really, really want this, and it's like.
There's just a thing with me. I'm always a little bit more cautious when it's at Old Trafford. If it was at St James Park, I'd be like,
I feel the same.
I'd be like,
way.
well, look where the extra one. But it's like when it's away, it's just sort of like
But no one's scared of Old Trafford anymore. Every team goes to Old Trafford
No
now
team
and they're
should
not
be
scared.
like.
No.
I
These
am.
These lot are like.
To be fair, I'm just scared of fucking slipping on the water that's leaking from the roof. But you know that.
I mean, these lot have turned it into like it's basically like it's like a Mike Ashley club just with cash. It's like they're signing players that they let go like 8 or 9 years ago. Like bringing back Andy Carroll. They brought back Johnny Evans. They're signing left backs on loan from Spurs. Rose and Reguilon and all of this, and they've got a stadium that's fallen to bits. It's like a Mike Ashley club with cash, no plan. It's just It's like, God, please let us beat these lot.
Well, like I say, we'll end there. We'll say thank you for watching. Thank you for Jack and Mark for joining. We'll see you later.
Thank you for having us.
Right.